Thank you very, very much for that nice introduction. And boy, I'll tell you something. Am I stressed out right now? I wear an analog phone, and my phone said, or my watch rather, and my watch said 11 o'clock. So I just drove the car down to get an oil change, just walked back into my office, and I had a bunch of Skypes that I was supposed to be on in 5 minutes. So thank goodness this worked out. Thank you very much for your patience. Anyway, so yes, my name is Scott Morris, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a room full of people here, and really excited to do this presentation for you. Quick introduction. Let me go to my first slide. When I asked my assistant to find a photograph of me to put up, she presented me with this one, and my first instinct, my first reaction to it was, you know what, that looks a little bit arrogant. Maybe we need to tone it down a little bit. And just before I asked her to find something a little bit more subdued, I thought, you know what, trading and the promise that trading gives us is all about arrogance, really, isn't it? It's all about the arrogance to believe that we can actually go into the markets and make enough money so where we can live the life of our dreams. And that's a pretty arrogant concept, actually. And so I decided to leave it up there because I am somewhat arrogant in believing that you can have that lifestyle. And because I live this lifestyle, the lifestyle that we all talk about and dream about, I really, really do believe that anybody can live this lifestyle. Now, one of the things that was left out of my introduction was back in 2006, as my seminar slash real estate career was starting to wind down, and the market was turning. The bubble had burst in 2007. In 2008, I actually lost my fortune, filed for bankruptcy for about $3.8 million. I also had 41 houses that were free and clear that I had rented out in Killeen, Texas, and that was my fail-safe. Like if everything else went wrong, I always had the income from those houses, and that all got gobbled up in the bankruptcy, and I ended up with nothing. So in 2008, when everything went away officially, I decided to start again online and also with trading. And trading was really the thing that offered the most promise, trading and online marketing, and I combined the two. I see that my friend Alberto Facelli from Italy has just joined us. Fantastic. Thanks. Good to see you, bud. But after my bankruptcy, you know, the only thing that I saw that could actually give me back that seven-figure income or even a really good six-figure income was trading and trading-related things. Here was the problem. The problem was that, you know, trading is hard. Trading is difficult. Every book that you read, every guru that you talk to will tell you that in order to become an effective trader, you need 5, 10, 20 years of study. And I didn't have the time, inclination, nor aptitude to devote to 5 or 10 years. Hey, when I filed bankruptcy, I was like, I'm 57 now, so that was like, what, 6 years ago? I was 50, 51. I didn't have time to spend 10 years learning how to do this. So I, you know, I wasn't interested, but I couldn't not be interested because the promise of making money was there. And so I put some money into the market and I started trading based on some things that I had learned, and it didn't take me very long to go through $30,000, which I could not afford to lose. And in the process of all of that, I started looking for simple ways. What I did, and here we go back to arrogance again. What I did was, I said to myself, everybody says this is so complicated, but it can't. Everybody said that rehabbing property was complicated. Every single thing that I've ever done in my life that I've succeeded at, the people that were really good at it were telling me it's way too complicated for you. In fact, I remember my dad told me that I would never make it in the Marine Corps. I wasn't tough enough. Okay, well, I made it really, really well in the Marine Corps. I made it really, really well in the movie business. You can't make it in the movie business, right? Well, I went from knowing nothing to being a full-time location manager, traveling all around the world, scouting locations for movies and TV shows. When I decided to become a trader, I decided I didn't want to follow all that old crap. Okay, and there's a reason for all that, and I'm going to go into that in more detail. But first, let me just introduce myself a little bit further, tell you more about myself. I started the oilmoney.com about just over 5 years ago, and from the oil money came iScalper and Indicator Incubator. I live in and am located in Austin, Texas. I've been a Ninja Trader partner for 5 years. I've got an impeccable online reputation. And here's one of the big things that makes me different than everybody else who is selling trading systems, okay? I have an in-house team of programmers and professional traders who work on my system and tweak them every single day. In fact, myself and my team used to create and design trading systems for other people. Now, this is very, very important for you to understand this, because this goes right to the heart of other people's system. And when you consider buying someone's system, these are some questions that you need to ask them, okay? So in the process of being in the business of designing trading system for others, we would talk to the trader, and we would analyze their logic and break it down and understand what this system is that they wanted to design. And then we would go about programming a system that did the things that they wanted their trading system to do. Now, once they had bought and paid for the system, we would offer a maintenance program, okay? Now, have you ever bought a trading program and it works for a little while and then it stops working? Well, the reason that happens is because everything in the trading world changes sometimes by the millisecond, all right? So a trading system that works today will not necessarily work next week, next month, or next year, because it is simply not programmed to adapt to all of the changes that are taking place in the marketplace. So for that reason, you have got to have a team of in-house designers and programmers who are able to tweak your system on a regular basis, or it simply is not going to keep up with the changing pace of the markets. Okay? Well, those people that don't pay for the ongoing support that we offered, they were selling systems that would work for a little while and then would not work at all. So this is why it's so important that if you're not going to get involved with iScalper, you're going to choose someone else's system before you buy it. Ask them straight up, how do you keep your system current? Do you have an in-house team of people that work just for you, who know your system inside and out, the actual people who designed it, who are going to keep up with it and tweak it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to make sure that it is working at tip-top form? And if they can't answer yes to those questions, then you need to find out how they're going to solve those problems, or you need to move on and buy somebody else's system who does have that kind of support. Now, see, I'm not even talking, I'm talking about the things that motivate us is to sell trading systems and information, right? But once we sell it and we've collected the money, as a marketer, most marketers don't want to continue to spend money to maintain their system. They made their money. Now they got to spend money to maintain it. And that's just something that goes counter to what we as human beings like to do. We like to keep our money. Okay? So it's very, very important that we do that and that we pay attention to those very things. So with that, let's continue on with iScalper, and let's take a look at what iScalper is. iScalper is an algorithmic automated signals with alerts, And the logic that we use is called trend following mean reversion. Now, trend following mean reversion encompasses the custom I-Renko, which we designed, the custom I-bands that we designed, and the custom I-bars that we designed. And the logic, again, is trend following mean reversion. I'm going to show you what that means in a minute for those of you who are unfamiliar with it. But one of the things when I first started, as I was saying earlier, one of the things that I always do, I always break things down to their simplest components, all right? I am a marketer, yes. I am a trader, yes. But I'm also a person who likes to be able to stand in front of you and say, this is why it works and why it works so well. And when you strip away all of the fluff and all the frills, you end up with something very simple usually. And simplicity always works. You can apply simplicity to anything in your life, and it always works better than something that is complicated. Now, another reason why I like simplicity is because most of the people that I'm talking to right now on this call, most of you are doing other things. Most of you are not professional traders. I was an online marketer. And so I sit here in front of my iMac and I'm working, doing business consulting or working on a website, and to my right is my trading computer. And I'm focused on an email or designing something, and I am not sitting there staring at a chart. Now, there are two reasons why I can't stand doing that. Number one, it's no fun. Nobody wants to do it, and trading is all about lifestyle to me. And that is no kind of lifestyle that I want. So I needed something very simple where I could glance over there and see what the heck was going on at a glance. And that was sort of the beginnings of where iScalper and another one of my products, the Oil Well 3.0, actually came from. So let's take a look at iScalper. The different components, we're going to break it down to different components of iScalper. So first thing we have is a chart. Okay, and iScalper is designed specifically for the NinjaTrader platform. Now, if you don't have NinjaTrader, or you don't use NinjaTrader, you use MP4 or Thinkorswim or any of the other platforms, in order to use iScalper, you're going to need NinjaTrader. But before we're finished here, I'm going to show you how you're going to get NinjaTrader for free and a demo account for free so that you can check it out and see if this is the direction that you want to take your trading in. Okay, so we start with our NinjaTrader chart, and the next, or the first, I should say, component is our I-bands. Okay, these are dynamic I-bands. And the focus that we are going to always have in most of our trading is going to, is going to take place right over here, okay, at the hard right edge of your chart. That's where the action takes place that is going to tell you what's up and what you're about to do. Okay, there is a lot to be said for, historical charts, like looking at what the market has been doing and in some way be able to predict what it's going to do. But if you're scalping, okay, then whatever happened 10 minutes ago doesn't mean anything to you. So we're on the hard right edge of the screen here. And that's where it's all taking place. Now, here we show the I-bands in an uptrend, and it's signified by green bands. And then in a downtrend, it will be signified by a red dotted line. And when it's going perfectly flat, it'll be gray. Okay? So that is our first indicator. Now, in between the bands, there is the mean. Okay? That is the mean, or the middle of all the price action. So to make it simple to understand, trend following, which is going up in this case, we're going in an uptrend, and we're going to follow trades that go up. Mean reversion simply means that the price action is going to go up, and when it penetrates the top of the channel, it's going to snap back toward the mean. Then it's going to go through the mean and go through or toward the bottom of the channel, and it's going to snap back toward the mean. And it'll do this all day long for the rest of eternity. This is what you call logic, okay? And this is how we trade. We always trade trend following mean reversion. Super simple. You'll get it. It's so easy. It's beautiful. It's elegant. It's wonderful. Now, another thing that we have to apply here, because I'm a visual trader, most traders are visual traders. Most traders are like me. They're distracted traders. The wife is calling. The dog is jumping. You know, I need another cup of coffee or tea, glass of wine, whatever it happens to be, and I have to be able to glance at my chart and get some idea of what the market is doing, some idea of if I have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or a few minutes just to run away from the chart to grab something to drink. All right, so we had to design our candlesticks in a way that gave us geometric patterns that our brains could recognize. In a minute, I'm going to show you the kinds of charts that most of you are looking at, which give you no patterns at all. It's just a big jumble of candlesticks jumping up and down that don't give you any sort of pattern recognition. And listen, you know, we are human beings. Our brains work in a certain way. We have got to, and if we're going to risk our money, and we're going to be trading, we have to have some logic that makes sense, and we have to give our brain the ability to recognize patterns and colors that make sense to us, that give us signals, that tell us things, that tell us when it's time to trade. Otherwise, we are just guessing. Okay? What we're doing is, you know, this brings me back to, okay, some other trading theories. Let's take, for example, Elliott wave theory. Some people, you know, still believe that Elliott wave theory works. And let me tell you why it doesn't anymore. Elliott developed this theory of Elliott wave, and it's 5 waves up and then a 3-wave retracement based on human behavior. Okay, human behavior is based on human psychology. And there was a time in trading when he drove the market. With robots in the market, that is no longer true. Human psychology is no longer at play here. So Elliott wave is out the window. And this is why when I meet or hear about a trader who starts his presentation off with, why can you trust me? Because I've been trading for 35 years or 25 years and I know everything there is to know. Well, probably not. That person probably knows a lot about money management, okay? Which is a good thing, which is something you always need to know when you're trading. But if that person is applying old-fashioned trading strategies and techniques, they're probably not working. Simply because trading is no longer, the price action is no longer determined by what small investors, small traders like you and I do, okay? We are simply, I call us, you know, interlopers in a way. You know, we duck into the market, we grab a few ticks here and there, and we get out. Nobody ever knows we're even there. And that's kind of, you know, how it really is, because the big hedge funds are the ones that are dropping billions and billions of dollars, trillions of dollars into the market. These are the ones that are the market makers. They're the ones that are moving the markets. It's not us. So those old-fashioned theories, Elliott wave, not in Fibonacci and all of that, I hope I'm not offending anyone. I'm just telling you straight up, this is what doesn't work anymore, and this is what does. So with iScalper, what we do here is we give you an alert. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. We are following the trend. So you can see right here in this example, we only have trends. We only have trade signals that are going north, that are going long, right? So what you'll have is you'll have an audible alert to tell you a trade is setting up. Then you'll have a paint bar, okay, several paint bars of the short color, in this case red, going up, and the signal will print when full confirmation is made, meaning the iRenco bar, paint bar, has painted, printed, and closed. And that gives us our confirmation that we can now get into a long trade. And that's exactly what happens right here. And then we have another one right here, and another one right here. Okay? I'm going to show you a bunch more of these. but I want to make sure that you guys first understood exactly what I was talking about when I'm talking about trend following, mean reversion, and the logic of why it works. This is not based on anything, anybody's personal ideas. This is based strictly on mathematics and visual geometry, okay? It's all math. We don't do anything else. So now I want to compare that chart, okay? Let's compare this chart right here. Let me get rid of those marks. To the charts that other people are looking at. Okay, so you might be looking at some gobbledygook like this, or something that might look like this. This is a beauty. There are no geometric patterns here. There's absolutely nothing here. This, I don't know what this is, this line, but that's probably the, you know, 200 SMA or something. You know, doesn't mean anything. That's not true. I don't want to say it doesn't mean anything. There are support and resistance lines that do mean something, but I'm going to show you how we get rid of those as well. Now, how would you like to work on a chart like this? You know, some people that I've met a lot of people who are interested in trading and they want to make money trading, and a lot of my students and a lot of my customers, and they ask me, you know, should I read this book or that book, or should I take this, you know, go to this webinar? And I always, and the first thing I ask them is, are you making money with the product that you're using right now, with the system that you're using right now? And in most cases, they say yes. And then I say, then keep it simple. Don't complicate it by learning all sorts of other strategies and indicators and applying those to your trading. Because if you learn how to trade using a certain set of indicators and that works for you, don't add another indicator to it. Continue using what you're doing and learn how to recognize the patterns that are working for you to make better trade entries. This would be impossible to do on a chart that looked anything like this. Here's another example of, I don't know if this is like, this looks like probably maybe a 5-minute chart, you know, on the S&P. And then here's another one. This is what I started out working on a chart that looked something like this. And again, you can look at this and there is absolutely nothing that you can look at here that you can see that is going to tell you what the market might do next. And there's nothing also that's, you know, giving you any kind of geometry here to let you know if you can leave the room for 5 minutes. So let's look at some real world examples in different markets. The beautiful thing about iScalper is that you can use it to trade any instrument that you desire. When I designed the Oil Well 3.0, which is based on the same logic as iScalper, we locked in the trader adjustability so that it was locked in place and you could not adjust it. It was optimized just for energies, CL, Brent, and NG, natural gas. But this version of it is completely trader adjustable because we wanted to make sure, and that's why we've been testing it, that it could be used and optimized for every single market. So it doesn't matter what you're trading, including Forex, you can trade with iScalper. And seriously, once I show you this, and you've already seen a really nice glimpse of it, I really, really believe that if you're not making money right now, you have to try iScalper, okay? I'm going to let you try it for next to nothing. And if you can't make money with iScalper, then I'm going to suggest that you stop trading. Because there is something about your psychology that is not allowing you to just let go and let iScalper do the work for you. And you know what? One of the most important things that we do in life is we recognize our limitations. And some of us just aren't made for trading. And if we're not made for trading, stop doing it. Do something else. There's plenty of fun stuff out there you can do besides getting in trouble trading. Okay? So now let's take a look at how iScalper works. So I gave you a little preview earlier. And here is, let me see, I got to move this away. I don't know, actually, I'm using this little drop-down window. You may not be able to see that. It's giving me the drawing tools, and it's covering up what instrument this is. I think it's the 6J. But this I just wanted to show you a number of different charts for different instruments and how they work. So this is a live chart screenshot from the 6J. And what would happen here if you have this on your computer is, you're just sitting around, you're composing an email, and you get right around this area right here, you're going to get an audible alert that's going to tell you that a trade is setting up, okay? Then, so that means, okay, get to your computer, stop doing the email, and focus on what's happening here on the chart. As soon as this first candle, I'm sorry, that didn't work out right, the first green candle here, as soon as it prints, you're also going to print this red line and a green dot. Okay, now the green dot means, it's just to signify that this is a northbound trade. This is a long. And then the red line is going to be printed at the previous price pivot, okay, and that is going to be your maximum stop. It's not your mandatory stop, it's just your maximum stop. I usually put my stop much tighter, okay? And that's another really cool thing about iScalper. As you're going to see in these examples, and as you're going to see when you test it on your own chart, you're going to see the accuracy of iScalper is so incredible that you can actually, put your stop so tight and rarely have it hit, that when it does hit it, your losses are going to be very, very small. Now here's another one. Here's our second trade on this particular chart. And as you can see, it prints, it goes immediately in our direction. And if in this case you were trailing your stop, because there are three ways of getting out of here. The first way is you set a target of 10, 15, 20 ticks, or you set yourself a target for the first time for when it penetrates the upper band, which could be there or it could be, right here. Or you can trail your stop. You can take that red line where the stop is and you can just move it up and trail it. So depending on how you decided to do this, you very well could have stayed in this trade until way up here, until the price action started coming down, it turned red on you and stopped you out. So this trade very easily could have given you all that action right there. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. This is the 6E, I believe, the euro. So we're talking about euro futures. And here again, so over here on the far left, our first trade, bam, gave us a nice one. Second trade, bam, gave us a nice one. Right here inside the magnifying glass again. This can get boring after a while because it's so simple. You're not analyzing anymore. iScalper is doing all the trade analysis for you. Okay, you're no longer going to be an analyst. Why? Because you're not trained to be an analyst to begin with. I'll bet you the 181 people right now that are on this call, there might be one analyst, maybe two, maybe none. Okay, and so because we didn't go to school to analyze the charts, and because I personally don't believe that you actually can or should be analyzing charts, stop doing it. It's no fun. Okay, here again, beautiful trades, setup after setup. Now you might ask yourself, why didn't it give me a signal right here? You know what? I'd have to talk to my programmers about that. I don't even ask questions like that anymore because it didn't give me a signal, so I don't worry about it. All right, here in this period of time, it looks like we've got it's probably a 5-hour period of time right here in this chart. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 awesome trades, and we all know that we only need one awesome trade a day, right, to be successful trading. And in most cases with iScalper, you're going to get a multitude of trades. Don't know what this chart is. I'm sorry I can't see it, but again, we have a beautiful trade right here. We've got a little trade right here. We probably made just a handful of ticks. This is not a good trade. Didn't lose. Anything that doesn't lose is a good trade, right? So we made maybe a couple of ticks on this one, and then here a beautiful trade right there, and then another trade right here. And you can see how the geometric, the mean reversion works, because with the price channel, we are always snapping back to the mean, always snapping back to the mean, following whatever trend we're following. So here we are again, very quickly, just to show you what this is, what the iScalper gives you is high probability entry points. Now, what I recommend to everyone who's just getting started is that you try it for a week, okay, a week of actually, maybe you really only need a day of using this before you're going to be bouncing off the walls, but I'm going to give you a whole week to test it, to try it. And what I would suggest you do is you take every single trade that the indicator gives you, okay? So here you can see we have 3 in succession, okay? 3 very quick trades that are signaled right here. And the thing about this is you would take this trade and you'd just make a few ticks, you'd be disappointed. You'd take this trade and it'd turn against you again and you'd be disappointed. But you haven't lost anything in these 2 trades. You've only made a tick or 2. But that's because on the 3rd one here, bam, that's the one that gave you the payoff. Okay, and then the 2 to 6 ticks that you made up here on these 2 trades, or on this trade right here, it pays off. It just adds to your bankroll. The beautiful thing is, if you take every single trade blindly, just blind trading, okay, you're going to make money big time with iScalper. It's so much fun. This is the thing that makes trading fun again. Now let's look at these, this one real quick, and then we'll move on to something more interesting. This is fascinating because when I first saw this in action, I just couldn't wait to get it on my chart and start using it, because it's when you look at a chart in historical perspective like this one, and you see all these amazing entries signaled. I mean, seriously, bam. Bam, 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 bam. Every single one of these entries. Now, I'm not saying that every one is going to be a winner, okay? And I didn't just cherry pick these because, to show you winners. But the winners are gigantic, absolutely gigantic. And the method that we use is absolute simplicity itself. And that is what makes it so much fun. Now, this is what I'm going to ask you to do, because I'm not trying to get you to buy anything today. I really am not. What I'm trying to get you to do is to try it, okay? And in a minute, I'm going to tell you why I'm going to charge you $1 for this, because that may seem kind of silly to some of you, all right? But I'm going to charge you $1 to use it for 7 days, and then I'm going to show you how to cancel it yourself, because one of the things that creates so much anxiety for us is we buy things, and then we've got to ask someone if they can, if they'll refund our money. They give us this 30-day money-back guarantee, which is, in most cases, a smokescreen to use your money for 30 days, and then give you a hard time about getting it back. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you how to use my system for a week, and then if you don't want it, I'm going to show you how to cancel yourself. Trust me, it's going to be fun. Now, what I'd like to do next is I want to take you inside our website, because I think this is always important. I want, in the same way that I made my trading systems very, very simple, easy to use and understand, I also made the website very, very simple, easy to use and understand. Everything I do is simple because, like Bill O'Reilly says, I'm a simple man. And really, when it comes to trading, I'm a simple guy. I don't like complicated ideas and concepts because I can't do anything with them. And a long time ago, I got rid of my ego where I needed to, become an expert at something. Because I knew if I could learn how to make $500 to $1,000 a day trading in the privacy of my dark room, or on the beach or wherever else I wanted to be, if I could do that, I didn't need to brag to anybody about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, because it was working. And that's when you transcend that ego, and believe me, trading has got a lot of ego involved. And I want every single person today, when this presentation is over with, I want everybody to check their ego. I really want you to look at that and think about that, and think about how your ego has been affecting your trading. Okay, there are some people that are listening to me right now that are saying, oh, come on, just get on with it, okay? That's their ego talking. They don't want to listen to me because they know it all already. Don't be like that. Okay? Be open-minded and be critical of yourself, because that is how you are going to become a great trader. Okay? and a great trader following the simplest, trading rules that there are. Okay, moving right along. So when you come inside, the first thing that you're going to get is you're going to get a step-by-step instruction, okay, printed and in video, that's going to tell you exactly what to do. So step one, guess what? Step one is download iScalper, okay, and it's got two components. Now, for those of you who are saying, man, I'm not good at downloading software, I always get confused, don't worry about it. This is so darn easy. And if you have trouble with it, I've got human beings, and that's very important. Okay, I've got human beings that you can talk to. Now, if you don't have, like I said earlier, if you don't have NinjaTrader, if you don't have a demo account with a broker that you can use to try this out, I'll set you up in 5 minutes with a broker and a NinjaTrader demo account that won't cost you 1 penny. All right, and you'll get the opportunity to use this and try iScalper for yourself. Okay, so moving right along. So here's step two. Step two, I need your machine ID. There's a form where you're going to find your machine ID. You're going to copy, paste it into the form, and it's going to come over to me, and we're going to use that to activate the iScalper trading system on your computer. And you're going to have the full version, 100% full version of iScalper on your computer. Okay, the one that I use every day. It's not going to be a pretend version, a demo version. It's going to be straight up, the real version. I see my name here. Yana just typed my name. So let me take a quick read. It seems like Scott is not reading the chat. No, I'm not reading the chat, guys. I'm going to be wrapping it up here real shortly, and then I'll go back to questions. Okay, that's usually how I do it. Because I'll tell you what, if I lose my train of thought here, it's going to be a mess. Okay, it's going to be a mess. Trust me. Okay, and then here we have videos on every single part of it: the introduction, the settings that you're going to use, and all of these videos are very short. Okay, they're between 3 minutes and 15 minutes long. The longest is, most of them are 3 to 5 minutes. So every little question that you have is going to be answered in text and also in a video. Okay, and then here, right here in this section, whatever instrument that you trade, you're going to be able to click here and get the settings for that particular instrument. All right, so whether you trade CL or ZB or the 6E or the 6C or 6A or NQ or TF, which is, the TF is really my favorite, okay, the Russell. It's really beautiful with iScalper. And, I also want to encourage you to find one market, one instrument that you like that really, really works for you, and stick to that one market. You only need one market. You only need one instrument to make $1,000 a day. That's all you need. And so here you'd find all the settings for whatever whatever instrument you want to trade. And then here, this is what it looks like. This is what it would look like. This is going to be like your control center on your NinjaTrader, and all of your little settings are going to be pointed out to you on your instrument manager, rather. Exactly how to set them up, okay? And moving right along. So now let me wrap this up, okay? I'm going to wrap up my presentation. I'm going to show you, because everybody's asking, what does it cost? $1. Okay, that's what it costs right now. And then I'm going to I'm going to scroll through the questions and answer your questions, okay? So let me show you, what it would cost to own iScalper. If you were to pay for a 12-month license, it's $1,542, and that's good for 12 months. If you wanted to lease it for per month, it's $147 per month. Okay? But wait, there's more. Stand by. Of course, I have a webinar special that I'm offering today, and the webinar special is good for 48 hours. Okay? 48 hours only. Now, why is it only available for 48 hours? Because you don't need more than 48 hours to make a $1 decision, okay? Forget about these numbers. Forget about these numbers for now, okay? These are the new numbers. If you decide that you want to do the trial, okay, for 7 days for $1, On the 8th day, if you choose the 12-month license, I would charge you $762, okay? If you choose this one here, I would charge you $127. So on the 12-month lease, you save 50%. It's only $762 as opposed to $1524. And over here, you save 20 bucks a month. So, and of course, if you start with one and decide to move over to the other, of course I'm going to let you do that, okay? I fully understand. But I'm only going to do that for a short period of time for you guys because, you know, you're on Trading Pub and, you know, I want, if this is an event that is very, very important to me. Trading Hub is a really awesome association that I have, and I want to respect that. Okay, so, but like I said, I'm not asking anybody to buy anything. Now, remember earlier, I told you how to cancel. So if you wanted to try iScalper right now, I'm going to give you a link to a website, and you're going to go over there, and there you're going to be able to pay your dollar. Now, that is going to get you the iScalper program. I've got my people standing by working overtime because we've got a lot of people here today that are going to want this. This is your back office in the website, okay? And you're going to go there, and right here is payment history. You're going to click on that tab, and right here it says cancel subscription. Anytime during your 7-day trial, from now until midnight on the 7th day, you can log into the website, go there, click on that button, and say cancel subscription. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to send me an email. I don't have to make excuses that the email got lost in the mail. I don't have to give you any excuses whatsoever. I simply allow you to be in control of this yourself. Now, for those of you who have trouble with websites, and you can't find your way back there, which of course would be impossible, and you do shoot me an email and say, hey Scott, I can't, I'm out of town, I'm traveling, I couldn't get to the website, can you just cancel me out? Support at iScalper.info, and boom, I'm going to take care of that for you, okay? So, let me now give you the website, and then you can go over there, and then I'm going to spend the next 15 minutes answering all of your questions, okay? The website is iScalper.info. It is not .com. Why is it not .com? Because they wanted $9,000 for the .com. So I went with .info. It cost me $2. So it's iScalper.info, and that's where you can get your trial version. By the way, there's also, you can see this is the website that you're going to go to, and here's a video of me sitting in my living room having a little chat with you, and I'll tell you even more about it. So, you know, just go there right now or when I finish with the questions. And let me see. So Yana says, get Scott special deal, iScalper. Okay, yeah, so there's a link that Yana just put in the chat. You can just click on that link and it'll take you right over there. So now let me see here. We've got Steve McCormick. He says, when you say you only need one instrument to make $1,000 per day, what size account are you thinking is required for this $1,000? Okay, now there are a million different theories on this, Steve. If you talk to a trader who, you know, like a quote experienced trader, they're going to tell you that in order to make $1,000 a day, you need an account of $25,000 or better. All right, and this used to be true, okay, because of the risk reward that you're taking in these trades in order to put enough trades up there. Okay, but when you use iScalper, okay, think about using iScalper on the 6E. That's what, $12.50 a tick. You know, you need 100 ticks to make 1,000, or less than 100 ticks. Just less than 100 ticks to make $1,000. I have people every single day who start with small accounts of $2,500 to $5,000. That very quickly are making between $300 and $1,000 a day. Okay? Now I know that goes against the grain. It goes against what most of you have probably heard. But I promise you this, if you use iScalper for a week and you can't do that, then maybe this isn't for you. Now, I wouldn't expect you. Let me back up here. I want to show you on a chart. Okay, so let me find a chart that I can show an example on here. Let's go back up here. Well, I didn't see a good example. All right, so one of the things that you will have to get used to when using iScalper is when the trend goes flat and you get a signal, I don't want you to take that signal. You will sometimes get a signal when the market is perfectly flat. Now, a person who takes that trade, because you know earlier I said take every single trade, and when you start using iScalper, I want you to take every single trade, okay? And the reason I want you to do that is because I want you to see what happens when you take a trade that you shouldn't take, like when the market is flat. Now, oftentimes, even when the market is flat, it'll be a winning trade, but it's not going to be a safe, high probability trade like when you're going with a trend, okay? So that's really, really important to keep in mind when I say you can make $500,000 a day using iScalper. Okay, it's really important. You still have to, you know, be cognizant of the things that are happening in the market. Okay, Perone asks, what is the difference between indicator incubator and iScalper? Okay, the difference is they're two different companies. Originally, iScalper was going to be another one of our indicator products that we sold through Indicator Incubator. It's another one of my companies. And then I decided to make it a completely separate entity because Indicator Incubator sells individual indicators and iScalper is a trading system. Okay, so it's two different things and I wanted to keep them separate. iScalper is very, very big. This is actually a preview. We're doing a global launch of iScalper on November 3rd. And so that is going to be a very, very big event. So you guys are the first ones actually to see iScalper in its current form. Okay, I have access to TradeStation and Ameritrade. Are these okay for iScalper? Mort, I'm afraid they're not. You're going to have to use Ninja only, okay? And thank you, Kevin, for handling that for me. I'm going to scroll up now a little ways here and see if I can grab some of those earlier ones. Okay, so Rod says, please get rid of the dark blue. You can't. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I guess I was using a dark blue marker. My apologies. Where is the entry price for each trade? Okay, great. That is from Mr. or Mrs. Wang. Okay, let me go back to a chart and I'll show you that. That's a very good question. I didn't cover that. Let me look at a big chart here. Okay, so where is your entry? So the first green bar prints, okay? The first green bar prints, and that is when your signal is going to show up, because that's when we have confirmation. You are going to enter this trade as soon as the red bar, the green dot, and the first candlestick finishes printing. So you are going to enter this trade. Oops, that's not right. You're going to enter this trade right there. Okay? And your first opportunity to get out of this trade is going to be either right here when you touch the top of the price channel, or in the case if you are trailing your stop, depending on how conservatively or aggressively you're trailing your stop, you might be taken out by one of these red candles, or if you're going more conservative and you don't get taken out, you can take it all the way to up here. Okay, same thing here. You always enter when the signal prints on the beginning of the second candle, okay, or the end of the first candle. Alrighty. Okay, back to my questions here. So James says, how many bars are needed to fill the Renko bars on a color change? Fantastic. Okay, now this is all trader adjustable, Rod. Okay. I mean, James, all trader adjustable. This right here, what you're looking at, is a 12% offset. 12% offset. So that would be, I think this is a 7-tick iRenko bar. Okay, and you can adjust it to however you want to see it. So whatever gives you the most comfortable geometric patterns, or if you're using Renko bars right now and you are just going to apply the same standard to the iRenkos, use whatever you're using right now and you'll be happy. Okay? Al says, I have made 4 successful CL trades today. Fantastic. I wonder how they relate to your trades. I didn't trade today, Al, because I've been preparing for this and for my launch on November 3rd. But I'll tell you what, if you will email me, Al, at support@iScalper.com, I'd be happy to show you what the iScalper trades look like for today during that time frame, okay? And also, if you'd copy and paste your question so I have the time frames, it would be really interesting. And I'll also try to share that somehow with the rest of you. Fawaz asks, how much is iScalper? So I answered that. It's only $1 to test it. You know, can I get some feedback on that? Because it would really mean a lot to me if you guys would tell me, would you rather pay $750 up front and get 30-day money-back guarantee, or do you like the $1 7-day trial? If you would just, you know, if you like the $1 trial, put a Y, and if you prefer the 30-day money-back guarantee thing, put an N, and that would really give me a lot of great feedback. I'd appreciate that. Okay, so let me scroll down here some more. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom now. Oh, this is fantastic. So what I'm getting is a lot of Ys. This is great information, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, this is fantastic for me as a marketer because it really makes a lot of sense. You guys get to use it, and you know, and another thing that I think is really cool is you get to cancel. You get to cancel yourself. You don't have to ask me, hey, can they please get my $500 back? I hate your system. You don't have to do that. So everybody likes the dollar. That's great. Are the parallel, this is TB, are the parallel green lines price envelopes? The parallel green lines. Okay, these are Renko bars, iRenkos. They're custom paint bars that we customized, but basically it's a custom Renko bar. So this is price action. I think I'm not sure if that's the question you're asking, TB. Steve says, I have a Ninja demo platform using IQ data feed. Will this work with that, or do I need to re-download another demo? Steve, you need to check with, if you got your demo through a broker, check with your broker, and if your demo is about to expire, just have him, you know, extend it for you. The brokers will always do that. If they won't do it for you, then on the website, on my website, I've got a broker that I've been working with for 6 years now, who will, if you're working with me, he'll do backflips for you and take care of you. Okay, so yeah, you can use with what you've got right now. You can definitely check it out. Okay. Okay, moving right along. Okay, so we are right at about an hour. So I'm gonna answer some more questions. Let me go down to the bottom again here. Okay, so we've got some good stuff. Okay, so Roxy says, I signed up, and now it says 942 for 1 year after 7 days. Okay, Roxy, what you did was, when you clicked to sign up, I offered you a second license for a discounted price. So you must have said okay to that. But if you don't want that second license, then just shoot me an email, okay, and just let me know. I accidentally hit that, and I'll take care of it. That's right. It's an extra $180 for a second license for a second computer. And guess what? It doesn't even have to be your computer, okay? It can be a friend's computer. It can be your mama's computer or your uncle's. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to put any restrictions on it. If you want a second license for a serious discount, it's only $180. Okay, Biffney wants to know, what is your broker's commissions round trip. I think it's right around $4 for oil, and less than that for other instruments. So you just have to check with them. And you know something? Brokers want your business these days. And so it's highly negotiable. I've known some of my aggressive students who, get into a shooting match with these guys, and they get them broken down to like, $325, $350. Now you got to respect these guys have to make money too, but that's their business. If they want to compromise, I'm going to let them. Okay. Yeah, shoot me emails over there to support if you guys have any questions. If you do what Roxy did and you buy something you didn't want, you know what? I'm just like you. I'm working with you. I'm going to do whatever I can to make you guys happy. Okay, so Glenn says, good idea, Kevin. So let me find out what Kevin's idea was. A 2-week would be better. 1 week to tweak, 1 week to test. Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea. But here's the reason I went with a week, guys. Is usually I do my promotions on a Friday. That gives you the weekend to set it up, and then you get an entire week of trading. But the reality is you only actually need 1 day to really be convinced. If you use iScalper for 1 day, you're going to be convinced that it works and you're going to want it. Now, let's say that you do iScalper for the 7 days and you're still not convinced. Okay? Then there really is an inexpensive way to extend it for 30 days. Just buy the monthly. Just pay for a month. And that really is, let me give you another reason why I charge $1, because it could be a free trial also. I get asked that a lot. Why isn't it just a free trial? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I really want a commitment from you. And by charging you $1, the dollar itself is not the commitment. The commitment is you pulling out your credit card and putting those numbers, those digits, into a form and actually buying something. You've now spent $1. To me, it could be $1 or $100. It's the same, because the hard part is actually pulling out that credit card. So if I can get you to do that, there's a high probability that you're actually going to use the system. If I don't get you to do that, you're going to get it for free, and it's going to be worth exactly that, nothing, free. So if I can get you to make that commitment to me, you've also, subconsciously made a commitment to yourself. And if I can get you to use it, then I can get you to buy it, because you will be convinced after you try it. So that's my my explanation of that. But you know what? I'm not opposed to maybe looking at a 2-week trial at some time in the future after we launch. But for now, it's set up for a week. Roy says, how does the iScalper compare with your oil money system? Okay, so I have another business called the Oil Money. And the Oil Money has the oil well. The oil well is based on the exact same logic that iScalper is. The difference is you don't have to screw around with any of the settings. They're all locked in place. Whereas iScalper, you get to adjust them yourself so that you can go into any market. And that's the basic difference of the two. Only for day trading, asks Glenn. No, this is good for swing trading as well. The adjustments are different when you're doing swing trades, obviously. But yes, it's good for swing trading, position trading, and scalping. So whatever your style of trading, you're going to be able to do it. Okay, I think the trial should be a longer, say 2 weeks. So there's Steve wants a 2-week trial as well. 30-day trial would be better, says John. But see, it's not just a 30-day trial. In order to do a 30-day trial, you have to pay for the system up front. So what my thinking was, yeah, I mean, let's just like let people, use the system and then make a decision about if they want to put down a chunk of money. All right, my friends. So it looks like, let me down to the bottom. Trial is for 7 days or calendar days. It's 7 days. So today's Tuesday. So you have it for the rest of the week through the weekend. You can use it on Market Replay, so you can actually be playing with it through the weekend on Market Replay. So it's 7 full days you actually get it. Now look, it'll take you, if you're really good at this, and you get it, you get in there, you can get it set up today. We're going to work overtime. Like I said, I got all my staff on duty. It may be tomorrow before you get set up. I don't want you to stress out over that, okay? Don't stress out over the 7 days. It's going to be enough, okay? Trust me on this. And if it's not, you talk to me. Can you show some historical data with real results? Okay, Gordon, that's a great question. I get asked that question a lot, and here is my answer to that. I don't believe in historical data, and I'll tell you why. Now remember, I keep everything real simple and very logical, and I hope this makes sense to you. I am trying to sell you something. So anything that I show you is going to show positive results, right? I mean, you can assume that. I'm going to show you only the best of the best. So if that is true, then just assume that I'm going to show you all sorts of data that shows positive results. And in my opinion, that isn't worth anything to you. So this is why I came up with this concept of letting you try it for 7 days and getting your own results, because you know you're going to trust yourself. So my only job then becomes convincing you that it's worth a try and giving it an honest try, so that you're not encumbered by trying to figure out if I'm an honest guy. And I think, you know, for me, it just makes more sense. And if it makes sense to me, then I think it probably, you know, Judge Judy says, if it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. And the whole business of me showing you my historical data just never seemed to make any sense. Okay, Rod, don't want you to miss this. If you need to download, install and learn to use a brand new platform, 7 days is not enough. Not for me. I have another life. Okay, so I respect that, Rod. But you know something? This isn't the first time we've done this, and for most people, 7 days is sufficient. Okay, so let's give that a try for 7 days. And if you just really can't get through it, now listen, if you really can't get through it and you need a day or 2 or 3 more extension, I'll probably give that to you. But then, you know, I'm also one of these guys that can read between the lines, you know, and it's really difficult to do because our system is automated. It's 7 days and I actually even give you till the 8th day, and then that's when your card gets charged. So try to make it work with 7 days before we start saying it won't work. All right? Okay, so if it takes 2 to 3 days to set up because of large amount of people or the webinar, blah, 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 count in 7 days. Okay, from now it's ready to go. Look, if you don't get set up until 7 days from now, then I'm gonna extend you for probably another week. That's ridiculous. It's never happened before, so it's probably not going to happen going forward. But just keep this in mind. Let's look at how we can make this work, not how it's not going to work. Okay? And I'm not trying to just like put a positive spin on it. You guys have some legitimate, you know, concerns here about the 7 days. But I promise you, if it takes you 5 days to get this thing loaded up and you use it for 2, you're going to be convinced. Trust me, it's that good. What's the phone number to iScalper? There's a phone number, a local phone number right here in Austin, Texas. It's on our website, and it goes straight to my cell phone. And when I'm not answering, it forwards to a general rotation to my team so that your questions will be answered. But Steve, I hope you'll respect that I don't want to give out my phone number right now and then have to pitch everybody, all 200 people over again on the phone to try out my system for 7 days, okay? I hope that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so Rob says, is this more accurate than oil money? Well, the oil money, it's the same as the oil well, except that you can adjust it to different markets, okay? So it is a very accurate system. But the accuracy is going to depend on your test, so give it a try. Okay, so Gordon says, I don't agree with your logic. I understand why you would allow a trial. I know people can lie doing back testing. If you're honest, it shouldn't be a problem. Well, I am honest, and it's not a problem. And Gordon, if this is that important to you and you want to talk to my programmer about this, I'd be happy to let you have a chat with him. But I don't think that it's necessarily something that our marketing has shown that most people are interested in. You know, when I was doing my real estate seminars, this will be funny to some of you. It won't be funny to others. When I'd get up in front of like 200-300 people, the first thing I would say is, okay, now can I get everybody in here who's been to engineering school? Can I get you to raise your hand? And then the people who were engineers or went to engineering school would raise their hand, and I'd say, you know what? I'm going to talk about a lot of abstract concepts here today, so this is probably not a good place for you. So I want to invite you to leave now. And some of them would get up and leave, and most of them would stay. But the truth of the matter is that, you know, engineers overthink things. And this is simplicity, okay? This is simplicity. Use it the way it's designed. Try it out and see what you think. And if you absolutely can't live with a 7-day trial, you know, talk to me about that. I talk to people individually. Okay, now, on November the 3rd, I launched to a worldwide audience. I'm going to be very busy, so let's get this done between now and November 3rd, because otherwise I'm probably not going to be able to take individual calls. We're going to be putting it out there to a massive audience and probably be taking in several thousand new customers, okay? So Celso says, I'm an engineer and I'm using it. It works. Hey, thanks a lot. Celso, where are you located? Tell us what country you're in. Are you in the U.S. or someplace else? You know, I have Lima. Fantastic. I have one of our best guys. His name is Pierre. I won't say his last name because he's a famous motorcycle racer. And 3 months ago, he'd never traded before in his life. And he makes money every single day. Every single day he sends me his charts. I send them out in emails to our members, and it's just thrilling to get that kind of result from a person who's never used it. So that's why I know that you guys who are used to trading, you're going to be able to use this and just do fantastically. So listen, my time is up. I'm going to have to turn it back over to Yana and her crew. So I thank you very, very much for being with me today. If you'd like to give this a try, I sure would love to have you guys on board. Go to iScalper.info. Let me run back there real quick. Go to iScalper.info. Cancel anytime period. Thank you very much for your attention. Looking forward to Vlad coming up next. I'm going to stick around for that one. Sounds good. Thank you, Alberto. Great to hear from you. Thanks, folks. I really appreciate all that.
Listen, Scott, thank you so much for that great presentation.